So, oh my goodness, what a week. And it's only freaking Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Well, I got 1,001 problems, but having a bad hair day isn't one of them. And this is a hair over a week old, and I don't do anything to my hair. So, yeah. Today. Now, I don't normally do really harsh things to my skin other than, infrequent chemical peels. I usually do like is it a TCA peel? Salicylic peel. Just because I have sebaceous skin. Now, I used to be like real gung ho about staying out of the sun. Like, I used to be a sun phobe. Oh my gosh. Because I'm naturally fair skinned anyway. Part of my genetics and um, just the fact that I just don't, my skin hurts when I go out in the sun. So it's like, I guess I don't have much melanin. Because I have like red hair in my family and I have some Asian ancestry. So it's like, you know what I mean? So we are noted for our fair skin and I bleach my skin too. So, but anymore, like as I get older, I'm learning to just really age gracefully. And that used to terrify me. But when you're a kid, you think like when you get old, oh, I don't want to get old. But when you start getting older, God blesses you in other ways, and you start to realize that a lot of people don't necessarily look the way they are on the inside. And I'm close to it, but I'm not necessarily. I don't look as beautiful on the outside as I do on the inside. In fact, sometimes I don't look in the mirror a lot. I know it sounds weird. I see photographs of myself, but a photograph is a two-dimensional image anyway. But when I look in the mirror and things like that, sometimes I'm a little disappointed because I don't see like rainbows all over my skin, and you know what I mean, like really my skin's a lot lighter in my mind. It's like I'm an angel in my mind almost, or an ascended form in my mind. But I think that's the way it should be for everyone. So, if we have an ascended form, I'm sure there are some people out there that are really, really crappy and have like a really uh, descended form. So one of the things, I've learned over the years is even in college is I'm a very metaphysical thinker. I guess I think on the right side of my brain more. I don't know. Um, than the left side. I guess. I don't know. Even the brain is. I don't know. When you get into metaphysics and quantum theory and things like that, things you realize that things aren't always as tangible in a physical way as you are taught growing up. Well, at least were. I come from an older generation. So, and I'm Catholic too. So I am Judeo-Christian. Um, so the way I see the world, and this is the thing, as you get older, you tend to get a little more stubborn. The way I see the world is how I see the world, and I don't really give a rat's but what anyone else thinks. That's my perception. You know why I think that way? Because over the years, I have learned that I'm right about my perception. I'm my own boss. I'm my own. Um, I'll say I'm my own best friend in a way, and I think everybody should be that. Um, I've learned a lot of hard lessons. I'm talking, not like I was like, on the streets and a druggie and, at the time. No, not like that. No. Um, I've learned a lot of very heartbreaking lessons in terms of like family, your loved ones, about God, human nature, things like that. Which is, I guess, why I was always good at psychology. I always had a kind of a comprehension of human function and understanding, human nature. Um, so, and there are some people out there that are, everybody does things for a different reason. Everybody has their own separate agenda, but only whenever you separate the wheat and the chaff, you have, the two species, the ascended and the descended. And you really start to learn. People might look human and you might be classified as a human race, but there are those people, the baddies, the bad guys, that I would consider to be a bit of a subspecies of human, just for the simple fact that they are very callous and cruel. And I don't think people just have a total change of heart. I think that people really are born a certain way. So I really, nature and nurture, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's kind of hard. I'm not God, so I can't judge that, but I can be my own pilot for my body and my soul and my path in life. So I know what I'm comfortable with. Yeah. And I think being a real woman, and this is also the kind of woman I am, I have very yielding energy. I'm very passive about many things. And even whenever I was fighting in tournaments and winning trophies and things like that for my aggression as a teenager to my early teens, or not teenage, to my early 20s. Even then I was very yielding. I would sob, sometimes after the tournament I'd be in tears because I was just so, you're a girl and it's like, you have girl emotions. And yeah, that's just the kind of person I am. So I don't know. It's just the kind of chick I am, I guess. So thank God I've cooled down. It's almost like labor pains and breathing. When I deal with certain situations, I noticed, and I don't know if this is just because I'm getting older or what, but I notice sometimes whenever you're dealing with spiritual struggles, sometimes it's like literally like you're giving birth to some sort of spiritual creation, some sort of, I don't even know what the word for it would be. I'm not really sure, but you're really giving birth to some sort of creation that's going out into your life, into the universe, and it's like a rebirth almost, a spiritual birth, spiritual rebirth. You put out the energy that you get back, you give what you get sometimes. Not all the time, because there is evil in the world, but a lot of the times you kind of put out in the world, you kind of reap what you sow. And that is true to a large extent. Not that sometimes there are anomalies. So that's kind of the theme this week that I've been coping with. Reaping what you sow, spiritual death and birth. So, some of the people that are involved in my life, and not always completely directly. Some of the people I've observed lately, it's about reaping and sowing, division, the wheat and the chaff. Because you might be there might be two chicks, you're two women, you're two human women, but as far as that goes, you're not really the same. You don't really, it's not necessarily not having much in common. It's, you realize you might not necessarily be the same kind of person that they are, and you start to listen, and it's like, oh, this person, you're deceived by appearances. So, like Andy Warhol mentioned in the future, and this irritates me, everyone in the future will have their 15 minutes of fame. Well, to me, fame usually requires a contract, payment. You know, you get to make art that you agree to make. It's kind of like the difference between art, right? Fine art, a fine nude, and a pornographic photo, like hustler style. There's a difference. You know what I mean? There's a tasteful nude, and then there's the lascivious version. So to me, you know, your 15 minutes of fame isn't YouTube. It's not being on the news because you're homeless, or being on the news because you got mugged or your house burned down. To me, fame is being recognized in a positive way for giving birth to a creative project. And that birth affects your demographic in a positive way. To me, YouTube is just, it's like a sermon. A lot of people, you know, you vlog, well, I'm just venting, I'm just putting it out there. And I'm not necessarily doing it for my viewers. I do it for myself so I can have a little bit of introspection later on. Like, I don't know. I think it's good to look back objectively at some of the phases in the struggles and accolades that you've experienced, that you've perceived. So, I never really, either way, I've never really cared if a lot of people liked me, or if people, you know, have a fan base through my art or photography or any of that. That's not what being an artist is to me. Being an artist is an experience, and expressing yourself and knowing that what you had to say was valid. Art can be very prophetic. I look back at some of the stuff, just some like fashion and things like that over the years, and you look back and you really wonder, you know, did I really spend $300, $400, $800 on this dress? Was I out of my mind? So, you know, and it's if it, you know, you think designers and things like that, you think sometimes things, the way you see things, like look at some of the 80s stuff that people wore, like with Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent. Like, look at some of the fashion. Looking back, it was very expensive, and but looking back, it's so tawdry and so dated. Even the clothing from the 17th and 18th century is better. It's more timeless than a lot of these dynasty type shoulder pad outfits that you see. So perception is kind of a funny thing, and it can be a real mindfuck. So I don't know. All I can do is speak and express, and as far as that goes, it's God's duty to do the rest. I'm just a finite spiritual creature with a flesh body at the moment, and not everybody can relate. So, just my experience.